We have agenda. Now actually looking at the slide, now I'm thinking the 4P agenda is a millennial cringe, but I'm a millennial, so I'm just going to go with it. We're going to be talking a little bit about the product, what to focus on, how to do it, the working strategies. So I'm a part of affiliate expert team, which means the strategies that I'm going to be talking about is something that we came up together with our product team, which seems to work best for affiliates specifically. Because those of you who work with Google for a long time and who tried the classic Google best practices, that probably did not always work very well for you. So we are trying to come up with working strategies that we see in experience and practical experience that work. We will touch down on the policy. It would be probably crazy to be talking on behalf of Google and do not touch the policy. This is something I deal with daily and hate just as much as all of you do. We will talk a little bit about the betas. Why should you talk to a Google representative like me or like my colleagues? First, let's think about the Google product that makes sense for you. Full disclosure, depending on your verticals, depending on your offers, depending on your budgets, technically all of our products can be helpful and all of our products can be harmful. Heavily depends. But today I will be talking about the 3 that are mostly used by my customers, again, because then I can focus on things that actually work for them. This would be display. This would be YouTube video reflection campaigns and demand gen campaigns. Google Display. From my experience, I usually meet people who either work with display a ton or not at all. I very rarely meet people who kind of know what they're talking about but don't really use it. Usually if they know what it is about, they spend a shit ton of money on it. So what we did, we developed a strategy how to scale these campaigns from scratch. Why from scratch? I'm part of the new business team, which means customers who come to me launch new projects, new verticals, new offers with me. So for us, it's always from scratch. So our strategies usually are based on this. How do we start from 0 and how we get to hero? So this is a slide you might as well take a screenshot of. This is our, I love seeing iPhones and everything else in the air immediately. Love that. This is how I would recommend, this is how my customers would start a journey with GDN. Right? So I will not go through one by one. The most important key points are placement exclusion. Why? We want to be cost effective, and we want to make sure that our ads serve to the right people and do not serve to the wrong people. My father always says, give examples that are very, very simple. So let's step away from affiliate marketing. Imagine you're selling meat. Imagine you're selling, I don't know, chicken meat. You do not want to show an ad about this to vegans. Not only they will not buy your product, they will potentially also report your product. It offends them. We don't want to have our products reported. That might get our account banned. So think about placement inclusions. Think about where you want your product to be shown and where you don't want it to be shown. A little pro tip for those of you who don't know, we usually recommend affiliates to remove apps completely from display traffic. I see some nods, people seen that happening. Yes, I would definitely recommend you doing this. Second, when it comes to budgets, we always say start with lower budget, but please, for the love of God, do not start with low budget, right? If your goal is to spend 6-7 figure on Google a month, do not start with $20. I know a lot of you warm up accounts this way. I always say, feel free to do so if that seems to work for you, but just then be prepared to the fact that your scaling will take much longer. The way you should scale is 20% every 1 to 3 days. It can be 25, but please stay with 25. Because if you go higher, you might as well go 400%. It doesn't really matter. You will retrigger the algorithm. You will get your account rechecked by the systems. And then it doesn't matter. So it's either 20, 25%, or feel free to straight up scale it to 10,000 if you need that. OK? Another important point, run it for a few weeks. I have a compromise with my affiliate customers. It's 9 days. I know 2 weeks is annoying. It's a long time. You want to scale fast. Again, at the same time, if you plan to spend 6-7 figure budgets, I think you have this stupid 2 weeks. Just give it a bit of time to run. You will see better results. The way we do it with my customer, we have campaign X for audience X, campaign Y for audience Y, for example, campaign for, I don't know, women 18 to 35, campaign for women 35 to 50, men, et cetera, to see how creatives perform for them, to see which creatives perform the best, and you let it run while you're also scaling the budget until the budget that you are looking for. You let it run for another few weeks, and after that, you start testing your bidding strategy, right? You try out target CPA, the classics versus maximize conversions. You see what works best. You continue scaling until you reach the goal you're planning. Here it is. Basically, the goal generally is optimizing for success. This is the strategy, again, works for most of my customers. This is something we implement almost on daily. And this is something that works when it comes to display. Video action campaigns. Again, when it comes to YouTube, it's either you use it a lot or you don't because it doesn't work for you for some way. Most typical strategy, similar. Feel free to also, of course, take a picture. You start with TCPA bidding. 15 times your TCPA is your budget. You let the campaign run. You test multiple creatives. Multiple means like at least 3, like bare minimum. You increase your budget after 2 weeks, every 2 days by 20, 25%. And then you start improving the campaign by remarketing, similar audiences, etc. Now, all of this is cool. First of all, worked for my customers, still for now works brilliantly. For those of you who tried this strategy, probably also worked brilliantly, otherwise you wouldn't be spending on that. Why is it no longer relevant? Is because from Q2, the video for action campaigns are actually going to be deprecated. As Google, it's not like we want to just take away it from you because we think we should not do this. No, we think we have a better solution for you, which is demand gen. So what are the demand gen campaigns? This is, by the way, the googliest slide. This is the ones I just stole from internal slides. Basically, demand gen campaigns is a highly visual campaign that helps you grab attention of your users by different visual means. You can use videos. You can use also images. You can use different formats of ads. And it serves around 3 billion users across all of our classics, YouTube, Discover, Gmail, etc. What's cool, actually, about demand gen? And what's unique about it? Firstly, lookalike segments. So lookalike segments are cool because they allow you to use first-party data to target similar customers. Creative preferences is cool because it allows you to choose a video for a specific format. Do you want it to be exclusively in in-stream or exclusively in in-feed? Do you want it to be exclusively in shorts or all over the place? You can do it. You can choose it. If you have a video that performs well on socials, you can do a similar approach now with demand gen with us. And max clicks bidding, of course, is not generally unique only in comparison with video action campaigns. This is what we use to get to know if the offer actually is going to perform well, right? You can just drive the most visits to the landing page and get the most information whether this offer is going to be interesting and profitable for you. If you remember one thing about this slide, actually about the entire presentation, lookalike segments. This is the main buzzword for demand gen. This is the main buzzword for my next quarter, maybe for this entire year. This is a cool feature. This is something that will actually be helpful for you. This is something that will differentiate and give you meaningful results compared to video for action campaigns. Why are they a game changer? So again, key takeaways from this perspective. They help you find new and relevant customers who are similar to the seed audiences. Seed audiences is any first-party data, your YouTube lists, your app users. You can ask your partners for customer lists. You can use your own customer lists. And you can choose also a narrow or broad or balanced approach to see whether you want to go for exclusively similar people or kind of similar in features. So this is something you can also test, of course. And the logic is it combines your inputs, our insights, and gives you the maximum relevance. How would you work with demand gen from scratch? So you still have video action campaigns available for the rest of this quarter. I assume for a little bit of Q2, because there is no specific date actually known when it's going to be deprecated. All of your video for action campaigns will automatically convert to demand gen campaigns. What does that mean? Ideally, you know what you are working with before that happens. So what we do with my customers who really rely on video for action campaigns is we start testing. We test against video for action campaigns, similar bidding, similar budgets. We give it time as well to see the results, to let it generally drive those meaningful results. We create lookalike segments. We are creating one ad group per audience we want to track to test, to see which ones perform the best. We boost creatives. The cool part about demand gen, again, remind you, you can also use images. So there is this golden rule of 3. have a vertical video, horizontal video, and an image. Ideally, obviously, multiple. A/B test that, see which ones perform the best. This is going to improve the quality of your campaign, and then, I mean, classic, you increase your budget by 20% every 2 to 3 days. And this is how you successfully test and replicate it. Practically, again, this is what we have been doing so far for the last few months. We saw great results. I suggest you do it, like choose one offer which you know actually performs well with video. Just test it, because at some day you will wake up and you see all of your video action campaigns being demand gen campaigns, and you don't know what the fuck that is. This would be helpful. We're going to go to the next favorite topic of mine, policy. So this is a huge topic, which is generally hard to handle and hard to tackle. So I wanted to focus on one small part, because I don't have that much time today. And the one we're going to talk to is what causes the most typical policy flags. The typical policy flags, I chose them based, again, on what my customers face most. You don't have to make a picture just yet, because I will show all of these little things. So what is it? So unreliable claims, clickbait, and misrepresentation. Genuinely, I sometimes think that they choose it like this. Because a lot of these things are kind of intertwined, and I never can tell why exactly this was unreliable claims and a very similar ad was clickbait. But more or less, what are the reasons that have been mentioned to us by policy teams or by internal stakeholders that cause this? For unreliable claims, the classic, 100% success rate. This is, everyone knows that, I know why you use it. I just always have to tell you this is why it gets flagged. The classics of like lose 50 kilos in 3 days, lose 100 kilos in a day, I don't know, lose belly fat in an hour. The classics of Nutra. Scientists from UK say, so the scientists from UK say, falls in the same time under unreliable claims, clickbait, and misrepresentation. You're going to choose one or get all three. Depends, but also a typical flag. When it comes to clickbait, any unclickable buttons, what I have seen with customers, for example, things like this study at Harvard shows, and then study at Harvard is marked as a link, but is not a link. So unclickable button, clickbait. Any buttons with countdowns, click now. If you don't click now, you will never. If you don't click now, you will die. All of this fun stuff, clickbait. Before, after with severe differences, most often somehow also ends up in clickbait, not in unreliable claims. But this is, I'm talking about like very clearly photoshopped bodies. Like when there is like, it's either a completely different person, or it's like somebody who was like 3 sizes of me and then 2 sizes smaller than me. So it's like very, very obvious that this is altered. I would also be quite careful about that. Misrepresentation. The most typical thing I see that in is shopping campaigns, actually. Comes with prices. For example, you have discounts for some reason, and you forgot to mention that in your ad. Or you mention it in your ad, but the sale is over. And the prices are not aligned anymore. Immediate misrepresentation, this is easily fixable as soon as you fix the prices, but this is something to just always keep in mind when you have these sales. The URL looks scammy. What I mean by that is it's not necessarily customer friendly. Doesn't have, for example, information about the company, or it's not an easy way to the cart, or there is no information on how to get money back in case you do not like it. This is something that also sometimes gets misrepresentation ban and disapproval. And inaccurate business names. Very often I see that with localizations. Quite a lot of affiliates use ChatGPT or DeepL to localize websites, and sometimes the company name gets literally translated. So when they check it, they see in the ad you use your name, let's say, I don't know, bird, and then they go to your website and now it's in Russian, and now it says company is named Ptitsa. So it will cause the situation of also misrepresentation, because they will never check if that was just a translation mistake. They don't care. So also just make sure when it comes to localization that you take care of that part. Malicious software. That's my favorite one, because I can't do shit about it. So this is always on your side. There is either something in your code, backend, front end, or something with your redirect lists. This is typical. Quite often, it's also about images, broken images links. Sometimes it's, again, unclickable buttons can also sometimes cause that, but usually unclickable buttons fall under clickbait. But when customers come to me with this, what I usually tell them is, here is how you can fix some of this. With unreliable claims, visible disclaimers. Things like results vary. it doesn't have to be massive on your entire page. Nobody cares for that. But if you have a small results valley, or if qualify, or depends on your current weight, whatever, it will be a great argument for you in case policy actually flags it. When you appeal, they can see, actually they told them it doesn't have to be 100% result. So have this visible disclaimers. Links to third-party verification. This is something like, if you actually have any actual studies that can give some kind of proof to whatever you are selling, use it. I don't know, maybe your weight loss pills have ginger, and maybe, I actually don't know, maybe ginger is proven to be a great thing for weight loss. Write about it and actually link this verification of third party. Do not make fake links. Again, clickbait and all the fun stuff, also misrepresentation. Relevant testimonials. I know a lot of you are doing this already, especially in NutraSpace, a lot of stuff. Make sure you do not completely copy them, though. At some point, it gets very obvious that they are constantly being recycled. So be careful with that. And I don't know, work with Gemini, work with ChatGPT. Just rework them a little bit so they look a little bit more natural every single time. Clickbait. Again, make sure your buttons work. I know sometimes you can forget it, or your webmaster forgot it. If you can make sure that the website works completely, especially also important like information about your company, I don't know, your policy, blah, 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 all of this should be working. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit annoying. Again, do not use clearly altered Photoshop. And yeah, the very aggressive phrases will definitely get you in trouble. Try to be smart about this. Again, work with AI to figure it out. It will make it a bit easier. Check for outdated information to make sure that misinformation does not touch you. Make your website as user-friendly as possible. Do not drop names you cannot be provided. Deep fakes, all of that fun stuff gets you suspended quite quickly. And for malicious software, check with your webmaster on every front and contact Google support. Quite often, they can tell you where exactly the problem lies. So sometimes they will send you exactly the part of the code where the mistake is found, and you can fix it then. So this is something where I would actually rely on support quite a bit. And yeah, if you can do advertiser verification and business verification, this is going to eliminate your problem with suspicious payments. I know it's a long process, an annoying process as well. However, it does help to increase the trust. It does lower the risks of suspensions. And also, quite recently, Google started sending the requests for business verification when they ban your account. So they ban your account, and when I appeal on behalf of my customers, they tell me, oh, it's cool, just tell them to do the verification. So if you can do it proactively, just do it. Like, again, I know it takes time. I know it's annoying. It'll help you. Just do it.